Hey Buns, so in my last two videos, I broke down all of the major midnight news, but since then, Blizzard's been dropping these extra tidbits and like interviews and blog posts and all over the place, these like bonus secrets that have been kind of hard to find. Today, I'm rounding all that up for you. Just a little extra tidbits that might have fell through the cracks. Let's start with the biggest feature ever added to WoW, according to Blizzard. Housing. They said for once, the game won't be bound by anything except the player's imagination. I guess the only other time that's been true is in Goldshire. One of the devs even hinted that you might see your alts inside your house and even brought up the idea of making different themed rooms for them.
Are there any ways in which our warband will be able to be visible within our homes? Like, maybe not necessarily all sitting on a couch like us, but being able to put more like that,
So the goal is to have the ability, your house is at the warband level. We want you to be able to see your other characters within the warband, potentially even making their own rooms.
Now, I'll flag this because well, the dev did say that. The devs have said a lot of things at Gamescom that have not all turned out to be totally correct. We heard information we'd be able to have opposite faction exteriors, like, for example, an orc exterior in an alliance neighborhood, but Blizzard has now corrected that in a blog post and said that that's not possible, so take this with a grain of salt. Now, if it's too hard for y'all to let our alts walk around, I'll settle for letting my demon walk around there. Next up is the Transmog news. Now, most of us do not like to be put in a situation, but that is about to change. And I've already reported in Midnight, they're adding a new feature called Situations, and this is going to let your outfit auto swap depending on variables that you set, like location and movement. In the preview screenshot, we see a few listed, but I like to see more, like underwater. Imagine setting a different Mog for every zone and town in the whole game. Mog maxing. We got a sneak peek at the new default nameplates and the new boss alerts they're cooking for Midnight. They admit that it's bad to expect players to use add-ons to know what's going on in a fight. And it's true. In an ideal world, you shouldn't die because you're missing an add-on. You should die because your class is underpowered. Blizzard's also confirmed official combat logs to go along with their plans for the official damage meter, which means you'll be able to export and analyze your data. That's great news if you're wanting to improve your gameplay. I mean, it's better than bad. It's good to have logs, but it does raise the question of how private are the official logs going to be? Warcraft logs today lets you set things to private if you want that. So will Blizzard's version give you the same control? Hopefully, yes. If I have public combat logs, people will know that I'm melee in tree form. The prey system got some more detail recently, and it could be way cooler than we first thought. Let me explain. I was watching a Mr. GM video where he said something very interesting about Nightmare mode.
You have Normal, which are introductory hunts, you have Hard mode, which introduces Torments and confined final encounters, and then you have Nightmare mode, which makes the entire zone a punishing challenge, as they've described.
If that's true, it sounds like they're taking the tech they're going to put in Legion Remix for the world difficulty tiers and put that into the Midnight outdoor content, like Mythic plus affixes in the open world. That sounds super cool and exciting, but big word of caution here because Blizzard has not marketed it that way at all in official blogs. We've already seen other details coming out of Gamescom get walked back, get corrected. So while the idea of scaling world difficulty I think is super exciting, I'd hold my horses on it till we see it confirmed in a beta. My copium is that they're experimenting with this tech in Legion Remix first before deciding to roll it out fully in Midnight, because I think Nightmare Prey world tiers would do a lot to increase hype for the Prey system. So big if true, basically. As for the new Training Grounds feature, which is the reimagination of Cop Stomp for Midnight, what's new is that they said that the AI we'll be fighting won't be pushovers. So though your win rate will be over 50%, you're going to be fighting smart NPCs in Battlegrounds like Arathi Basin. I think this sounds great because it's going to remove the most annoying part of PvP, which is other people. We got some info about zone events, like the new zone event for the Void Storm, Stormarian Assault. It will require player skill and well-placed defenses that are crucial to holding back relentless waves of Void attackers. But let's be honest, it's gonna be a Zerg rush. You know it. I know it. Player skill, come on. I doubt that muchly. It's a zone event, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be one buttonable. Prove me wrong. Another zone event that we've learned of is Abundance, which is a professions event. So harvesting stuff for the Loa of Abundance in a fast-paced, super buffed profession runs. I hope it will be a way for us to get more of the crafter's acuity or whatever, because that stuff is a pain in the butt to try to get if you didn't do it all at the beginning of the expansion. If they're going to be in every zone, then in Void Storm, would that be a gathering storm? Should we herb our enthusiasm? In Haranir, the zone activity will be jumping into paintings in the Den of Echoes to witness events from the Haranir's past. Like in Super Mario, I guess. Blizzard is called the Haranir, intentionally mysterious, which is also what I'd say if I hadn't finished writing their lore yet. Paul Cubitt said that most of them don't leave their comfortable homes. My people. Erwena is the only exception, and she only left because her literal goddess begged her to, which is pretty much what it takes for me as well. After looking through all the interviews, I can tell you it's unlikely that turning into a bat is a racial skill for the Haranir. I haven't heard anybody mention that. That seems like it's going to be a druid thing. There's just the route ways travel as the racial, which is pretty cool, really. Traveling between the different world tree route locations of the world. So I guess you'll see me on Route 66. As the most gamer-coded race on Azeroth, it makes sense that the biggest problem they have is light mode. Someone has turned on the big light is out of balance, and the light bloom, as they're calling it, leads to the dungeon called the Blinding Veil, where hopefully we will get dark mode fixed. A potentially huge lore tidbit is the festering primordial wound in Haranir called the Rift of Uln. It's the place where the Emerald Dream first originated from, and it's spewing out nightmare spawn that were dreamed up by the Haranir's goddess. Who is she? They won't say. And in the Dream Rift raid, we're going to fight with Haranir, who had to sever their connection with their goddess, like psychically cut off the umbilical cord just so they could survive in the rift without going insane. But think about it, okay? If the Emerald Dream was really birthed from this wound and the goddess dreams horrors out of it, what if the goddess is Azeroth and she's having a psychotic break? Malfurion, long time ago, said that he had seen Illidan in Outland through the dream while on our planet, so we know it's interplanetary. So whatever we're going to find in there could end up being a patient zero for a cosmic infection, which could be really bad. I could make a whole video about this. I don't want to derail this one. Anyway, we've also learned that in the Void Storm, we'll be fighting the Dominar, who are Xal'atath's followers, and supposedly some of the most powerful and intelligent Void creatures that we've ever seen. But Warlocks know it's not an especially high bar. Void Elves will even get some special gameplay elements in the Void Storm to make the experience feel unique for you because you're apparently in your element there. That's really vague, but that's all we know right now. Hey, here's a gameplay element for you to try out, Blizzard. More hairstyles. That reminds me of something else that they're going to have to explain. Blood Elf Void Demon Hunters. God, that's so edgy. Sounds like an email address I would have made when I was 13. But they've confirmed that with the Devourer spec, everything's going to be Void themed and blue. You're going to see nothing green as a blueberry Void Demon Hunter. But don't forget that the Blood Elves exiled their own kin just for studying the Void. And those guys later became Void Elves, and British too, for some reason. I mean, they stopped seeing the sun, so. And now, some Blood Elf Demon Hunters are going to start chugging the Void like it's Baja Midnight. And I understand the city's under siege by the Void. Desperate times call for desperate measures. It makes sense, okay? I get it. But I'm just saying that it's kind of awkward for the Void Elves, some of whom won't be allowed back into their own houses in Silvermoon. Though, I can't even imagine them letting Void Elves rejoin the Horde as an optional choice. That would definitely end the whole Nightborn should be Demon Hunters too because of the faction imbalance, but it would make the Horde super mad regardless. Speaking of Silvermoon City, I am very happy to report that the senior art director, Eli Cannon, said that he also worked on the original Eversong 19 years ago. Oh my god, it's scary to say that was 19 years ago. Oh my god, I was there. Oh my god. There was some fake news that it would be majority Horde that came out, and the facts are now confirmed that the western 2/3 are shared between Horde and Alliance, and that is like the newer spaces there, and the eastern third is Horde only, and that's where you're going to find the memorable iconic locations like the auction house and the bank and that stuff, and I guess that's fair. There's been a blog post mentioning the new Eversong Woods zone events, the Silvermoon Court and Salthiril's Soiree, where you're going to be dealing with Silvermoon's military factions, and they want it to be a callback to the way Burning Crusade era reputation was. And first of all, Scryer's Gang, rise up. Secondly, Salthariel. Isn't that the guy in Eversong Woods who threw that big obnoxious party where everyone's rude as hell to you before you get your invitation? And guess what? I still have my invitation. I checked. Yes, I still have my invitation for when I started my Blood Elf Mage in 2008. Some of y'all weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye when I got this invitation. I do have a new tidbit for you about the Amani. So we've learned that we're going to be working with the 2 grandkids of Zul'jin. And if you don't know who that is, that was an Amani troll warlord who cut off his own arm to escape the elves. And he's the one who was like, I spit on the Horde. I hate you. And it seems like his kids hate the Horde less because one dev said that at times the Amani are going to be enemies and other times they're going to be allies. So possibly future allied race, like I wouldn't put it past them, but I'm sure Zul'jin out in Revendreth is gonna love that. Speaking of Revendreth, don't forget Sylvanas is still in the Shadowlands doing her Maw dailies, and I was thinking we're going to Windrunner Spire, right, as a dungeon. What if we see another appearance of Lyrath the Windrunner? So right now, okay, he's the youngest brother of the Windrunners. He's only been depicted in the game once, and it was at Windrunner Spire as a ghost. What if Sylvanas finds him in the Shadowlands? She could bring him back, right? That would be, we could have a big family reunion. Girl, while you're at it, just bring back Kael'thas too, because he had the glow up of a lifetime back in Shadowlands. And I mean, he's learned his lesson. Don't forget to sign up for the Midnight Beta. This is just a quick little recap of all the things that might have fell through the cracks with the crazy way that news about Midnight has been revealed through Gamescom. It's been a little disorganized, but hopefully my videos have made it easier to keep track of everything. If anything new pops up, I'll be sure to keep you informed. I do stream on Twitch 4 days a week, so if you want to support the channel, you can do so there. I would also like to thank my Patreon supporters who support the channel over on Patreon, and my Omega Bones who subscribe at the highest tier. That's Chris and Pete Wilson. We do have a guild in World of Warcraft. It's on EU and NA, and you are more than welcome to join us. Just join our discord.gg/ZeplaHQ. There's a channel in there that will explain how to get an invite to the guild. It's very simple to do so. We still have space, so now's the time. Tell me what you're most excited about that you've heard is coming at Midnight, and let me know if you'd like to see some lore videos from me. Let me know in the comment section, and you know, I'll consider it. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. So, though your win rate will be over 50%, you will be farting. Oh my god. I almost said you'll be farting smite NPCs instead of you'll be fighting smart NPCs. Hey, you.
Check out that noise.
I know what the noise was now.